Hello again, Russell Raphael from North London Ulysses. Today we will read the second part of the episode Joyce suggested might be called Proteus, and we'll read to the end of the episode. We are on page 55 in the Penguin. I think it's 37 in the Gabler. And this will conclude, once we finish this Proteus chapter, it will conclude part one of the book. So, last time we read up to the words, remembering thee, O Sion. And we're going to start from there. Here we go. He had come nearer the edge of the sea, and wet sand slapped his boots. The new air greeted him, harping in wild nerves, wind of wild air of seeds of brightness. Here, am I not walking out to the Kish lightship, am I? He stood silently, his feet beginning to sink slowly in the quaking soil. Turn back. Turning, he scanned the south shore, his feet sinking again slowly in new sockets. The cold domed room of the tower waits. Through the barbicans the shafts of light are moving ever slowly ever as my feet are sinking, creeping duskward over the dial floor. Blue dusk, nightfall, deep blue night. In the darkness of the dome they wait, their pushed-back chairs, my obelisk valise, around a board of abandoned platters. Who to clear it? He has the key. I'll not sleep there when this night comes. A shut door of a silent tower entombing their blind bodies, the Panther Sahib and his pointer. Call? No answer. He lifted his feet up from the sock and turned back by the mole of boulders. Take all, keep all. My soul walks with me, form of forms. So, in the moon's mid-watches I paced the path above the rocks, in sable-silvered, hearing Elsinore's tempting flood. The flood is following me. I can watch it flow past from here. Get back then by the Pullbeg Road to the Strand there. He climbed over the sedge and Ely oarweeds and sat on a stool of rock, resting his ash plant in a grike. A bloated carcass of a dog lay lowered on bladder rack. Before him the gunwale of a boat sunk in sand. Un coche ensemble, Louis voulant chord Gautier's prose. These heavy sands are language tide and wind of silted here. And there the stone heaps of dead builders, a warren of weasel rats. I'd go there. Try it, you have some. Sand and stones, heavy at the parst. Sir Lout's toys. Mind you don't get one bang on the ear. I'm the bloody well gigant rose, all them bloody well boulders, bones for me stepping stones. Fee for fum, I smells the bloods odds an Irishman. A point, live dog, grew into sight, running across the sweep of land. Lord, is he going to attack me? Respect his liberty. I will not be master of others or their slave. I have me stick. Sit tight. From farther away, walking shoreward across from the crested tide, figures two. The two Maoris. They've tucked it safe among the bulrushes. Peekaboo, I see you. No, the dog. He's running back to them. Who? Galleys of the Lachlan's ran here to beach in quest of prey, their blood-beaked prows riding low on a molten pewter surf. Dane Vikings, torques of tomahawks a-glitter on their breasts when Malachy wore the collar of gold. A school of turtle-hide whales stranded in hot noon, spouting, hobbling in the shadows. Then, from the starving cage-work city, a horde of jerkin dwarfs, my people, with flayers' knives, running, scaling, hacking, in green, blueberry whale meat. Famine, plague and slaughters, their blood is in me. Their lusts, my waves, I moved among them on the frozen Liffey, that I, a changeling, among the spluttering resin fires, I spoke to no one, to me. The dog's bark ran towards him, stopped, ran back. Dog of my enemy. I just simply stood pale, silent, bayed about. Terribilia meditans. A primrose doublet, fortune's knave, smiled on my fear. For that are ye pining? The bark of their applause. Pretenders. Live their lives. The Bruce's brother, Thomas Fitzgerald, Silken Knight, Perkin Warbeck, York's false scion, in breeches of silk of white rose ivory, wonder of the day, and Lambeth Simmel, with a tail of nans and sutlers, a scullion crowned. All kings' sons, paradise of pretenders then and now. He saved men from drowning, and you shake at a cur's yelping. But the courtiers who mocked Guido in all San Michele were in their own house. House of, we don't want any of your medieval abstrusiosities. Would you do what he did? A boat would be near, a lifebuoy, naturally, put there for you. Would you, or would you not? The man that was drowned 9 days ago off Maiden's Rock. They're waiting for him now. The truth, spit it out. I would want to. I would try. I'm not a strong swimmer. Water, cold, soft. When I put me face into in the basin at Clongowes, can't see. Who's behind me? Out, quickly, quickly. Do you see the tide flowing quickly in on all sides, sheeting the lows of sands quickly, shell cocoa-coloured? If I had land under me feet, I want his life still to be his, mine to be mine. A drowning man. His human eyes scream to me out of horror of his death. I, with him, together down. I could not save her. Water, bitter's death, lost. A woman and a man. I see her skirt is pinned up, I bet. Their dog ambled about a bank of dwindling sand, trotting, sniffing on all sides. Looking for something, lost in a past life. Suddenly he made off like a bounding hare, ears flown back, chasing the shadow of a low skimming gull. The man's shrieked whistle struck his limp ears. He turned, bounded back, came nearer, trotted on twinkling shanks. On a field tenny a buck, trippant, proper, unattired. At the lace fringe of the tide he halted with stiff forehoofs, seaward pointed ears. His snout lifted, barked at the wave noise. Herds of sea morse. They serpented towards his feet, curling, unfurling many crests every ninth, breaking, plashing from farther out, waves and waves. Cockle pickers. They waded a little way in the water and, stopping, soused their bags and lifting them again, waded out. The dog yelped, running to them, reared up and pawed them, dropping on all fours, again reared up at them with mute, bearish fawning. Unheeded, he kept by them as they came towards the drier sand, a rag of wolf's tongue, red panting from his jaws. His speckled body ambled ahead of them and then loped off at a calf's gallop. The carcass lay on his path. He stopped, sniffed, stalked round it, brother. Nosing closer, went round it, sniffing rapidly like a dog, all over the dead dog's bedraggled fell. Dog's skull, dog's sniff, eyes on the ground, moves to one great goal. Ah, poor dog's body. Here lies poor dog's body's body. Tatters, out of that, you mongrel. The cry brought him skulking back to his master, and a blunt, bootless kick sent him unscathed across a spit of sand, crouched in flight. He slunk back in a curve. Doesn't see me. Along by the edge of the mole he lolloped, dawdled, smelt a rock, and from under a cocked hind leg pissed against it. He trotted forward and, lifting his hind leg, pissed quick short at an unsmelt rock. The simple pleasures of the poor. His hind paws then scattered sand. Then his forepaws dabbled and delved. Something he buried there. His grandmother. He rooted in the sand, dabbling, delving, and stopped to listen to the air, scraped on the sand again, with a flurry of his claws soon ceasing, a pard, a panther, got in spouse breach, vulturing the dead. After he woke me up last night, same dream, or was it? Wait, open hallway, street of harlots. Remember, Haroun al-Rashid, I'm almost in it. That man led me, spoke, he was not afraid. The melon he held about my face, smiled. Cream fruit smell, that was the rule, said. In, come, red carpets spread, you will see who. Shouldering their bags, they trudged, the red Egyptians. His blued feet out of turned-up trousers slapped the clammy sand, a dull brick muffler strangling his unshaven neck. With woman steps she followed, the ruffian and his strolling mort, spoils slung at her back. Loose sand and shell grit crusted her bare feet. About her winddrawer face her hair trailed. Behind her lord, his helpmate. Bring a was to Ramville, where night hides her body's flaws, calling under her brown shawl from an archway where dogs have mired. Her fancy man is treating two royal Dublins in O'Loughlin's the Black Pits. Bussa, whapping rogues rum lingo for oh my dimber whapping dell. A she-fiend's whiteness under her rancid rags. Fumble is lain that night. The Tanyard smells. White thy fambles, red thy gan, and thy quarren's dainty is. Couch a hogshead with me then, in the dark man's clip and kiss. Morose delectation. Aquinas Tomboli calls this frate porcus spino. Unfallen Adam rode and not rutted. Call away, let him. Thy quarren's dainty is. Language no whit worse than his. Monk words. Mary beads jabber on their girdles. Rogue words, tough nuggets patter in their pockets. Passing now. A side eye at me Hamlet hat. If I was suddenly naked here as I sit, I am not. Cross the sands of all the world, followed by the sun's flaming sword, to the west, trekking to evening lands, she trudges, schleps, trains, drags, tracines her loads. A tide westering, moon drawn in her wake, tides, myriad islanded within her, blood not mine, an opaponton, a wine dark sea. Behold the handmaid of the moon, in sleep the wet sign calls her hour, bids her rise, bride bed, child bed, bed of death, ghost candled. Omnis caro ad te veniet. He comes, pale vampire, true storm his eyes, his boat sails bloody in the sea, mouth to her mouth's kiss. Here, put a pin in that chap, will ya? My tablets, mouth to her kiss. No, must be two of them. Glue 'em well. Mouth to her mouth's kiss. His lips, lipped and mouthed fleshless lips of air. Mouth to her womb. All wombing tomb. His mouth moulded, issuing breath unspeeched. Ooh-ya, roar of cataractic planets, globe blazing, roaring, way away, 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 away. Paper. The banknotes, blast them. Oh, Daisy's letter. Here. Thanking you for your hospitality. Tear the blank end off. Turning his back to the sun as he bent over to a table of rock and scribbled words. That's twice I forgot to take slips from the library counter. His shadow lay over the rocks as he bent, ending. Why not endless till the farthest star? Darkly, they are there behind this light, darkness shining in the brightness, delta of Cassiopeia worlds. Me sits there with his augur's rod of ash in borrowed sandals, By day, beside a livid sea, unbeheld, in violet night, walking beneath a rain of uncouth stars. I throw this ended shadow from me, man's shape ineluctable, call it back, endless. Would it be mine, form of my forms? Who watches me here? Who ever anywhere will read these written words? Signs on a white field? Somewhere to someone in your flutiest voice. The good Bishop of Cloyne took the veil of the temple out of his shovel hat. Veilless space with coloured emblems hatched on its field. Hold hard. Coloured on a flat. Yes, that's right. Flat, I see. Then think distance, near, far. Flat, I see. East, back. See now. Falls back suddenly, frozen in stereoscope. Click does the trick. You find me words dark? Darkness is in our souls, do you not think? Flutier. Our souls, shame wounded by our sins, cling to us yet more. A woman to her lover, clinging the more, the more. She trusts me, her hand gentle, the long lashed eyes. Now, where the blue hell am I bringing her beyond the veil? Into the ineluctable modality of the ineluctable visuality. She. What's she? The Virgin at Hodge's window on Monday, looking in for one of the alphabet books you were going to write. Keen glance you gave her. Wrist through the braided jests of her sunshade. She lives in Leeson Park with a grief and kickshaws, a lady of letters. Talk that to someone else, Stevie. Pick me up. I bet she wears those curse of God stays, suspenders and yellow stockings darned with lumpy wool. Talk about apple dumplings. Piuttosto. Oh, where are you, you wits? Touch me. Soft eyes, soft hand. I'm lonely here. Oh, touch me soon, now. What is that word known to all men? I'm quite here alone, sad too. Touch me. He lay back at full stretch over the sharp rocks, cramming the scribbled note and pencil into a pocket, his hat tilted down on his eyes. And at his Kevin Egan's movement, I made, nodding for his cap, Sabbath sleep. Et vide Dieu, et errant valde bona, hello, bonjour, welcome as to flowers in May. Under its leaf, he watched through peacock twittering lashes the southing sun. I'm caught in this burning scene, Pan's hour, the faunal moon, among gum-heavy serpent plants, milk-oozing fruits, where on the thorny water's leaves lies wide. Pain is far, and no more turn aside and brood. His gaze brooded on his broad-toed boots, a box cast off Neben and Ander. He counted the creases of rock leather wherein another's foot had nested warm. The foot that beat the ground in tripudium, foot I dissolve. But you were delighted when Esther Oswald's shoe went on you. Girl I knew in Paris. Tiens, que petit pied. Staunch friend, a brother's soul. Wilds love that dare not speak its name. And now will leave me. And the blame? As I am. All or not at all. In long lassos from the Cox Lake, the water flowed full, covering green goldenly lagoons of sand rising, flowing. My ash plant will float away. I shall wait. No, they will pass on, passing, chafing against the low rocks, swirling, passing. Better get this job over quick. Listen, a four-worded wave speech. Sisu hush ooze. Pyramid brat of waters amid sea snakes rear in horses' rocks. In cups of rocks it slops, flop, slop, slap, bounded in barrels and spent its speech ceases. It flows, purling widely, flowing, floating, foam-pawed flower unfurling. Under the upswelling tide, he saw the writhing weeds lift languidly and sway reluctant arms, hissing up their petticoats, in whispering water swaying and upturning coy silver fronds. Day by day, night by night, lifted, flooded and let fall. Lord, they are weary, and whispered too, they sigh. Saint Ambrose heard it, sigh of leaves and waves awaiting the fullness of their times. Dibus ac noctibus in aureus patiens ingemiscit. To no end gathered, vainly then released, fought, flowing, wending back, loom of the moon. Weary too in sight of lovers, lascivious men, a naked woman shining in her courts, she draws a toil of waters. 5 fathoms out there, full fathom 5, thy father lies. At one, he said, found drowned, high water at Dublin Bar, driving before it a loose drift of rubble, fan shows of fishes, silly shells, a corpse rising salt white from the undertow, bobbing landward, a pace, a porpoise. Ah, there he is, hook it quick, sunk through, he be beneath the watery floor. We have him, easy now. Bag of corpse gas sopping in foul brine, a quiver of minnows, fat of a spongy titbit, flashed through the slits of his button trouser fly. God becomes man, becomes fish, becomes barnacle, goose, becomes featherbed mountain. Dead breaths I live in, breathe, tread dead dust, devour urinous offal from all dead. Hauled stark over the gunwale, he breathed upward the stench of his green grave, his leprous nose-hole snoring to the sun. A sea change this. Brown eyes, salt blue, sea death, mildest of all deaths known to man. Old Father Ocean, Puy de Paris, beware of imitations, just you give it a fair trial. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. Come, I thirst, clouding over. No black clouds anywhere, are there? Thunderstorm. Oh, bright, he falls, proud lightning of the intellect. Lucifer di coquines skiocasm. No, my cockle hat and staff, and his my sandal shoon. Where? To evening lands. Evening will find itself. He took the hilt of his ash plant, lunging with it softly, dallying still. Yes, evening will find itself in me, without me. All days make their end. By the way, next, when is it? Tuesday will be the longest day of all the glad new year. Mother, the rum-tum tiddly-tum, lawn Tennyson, gentle poet. Ja. But the old hag with the yellow teeth and Monsieur Dumont, gentleman journalist. Ja. My teeth are very bad. Why, I wonder? Feel, that one's going too. Shells. Ought to go into a dentist. I wonder with that money. At that one. Toothless Kinch, the Superman. Why is that, I wonder? What does it mean? Something, perhaps. Ah, me handkerchief. Threw it, I remember. Did I not take it up? His hand groped vainly in his pockets. No, I didn't. I better buy one. He laid the dry snot picked from his nostril on a ledge of rock carefully. For the rest, let look who will. Behind, perhaps there's someone. He turned his face over a shoulder, rear regardant, moving through the air high spars of a three-master, her sails brailed up on the cross-trees, homing upstream, silently moving, a silent ship. Okay, that is the end of Proteus. Not an easy chapter. So I invite you to watch my analysis video where I will go into that, I hope, in sufficient depth. It is a wonderful chapter with lots and lots of hidden ripples and meanings. So please do have a listen to that. Our next reading video, because that concludes part 1 of the book, we now begin part 2. Part 2 is a big long chunk of the book, 12 episodes, the first one being Calypso, in which in our first line we shall meet the main protagonist of our story, Mr. Leopold Bloom. So look forward to seeing you then. I'm Russell Raphael from North London Ulysses. It's been my pleasure reading Proteus to you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.